Let's start the final step of assembling our pillow. We're going to be piecing two sections together. We're going to be using standard thread, a 1/4 inch seam, okay? We are going to start with section 1. You're going to take your pieced heart block, the no place block, the heart unit, okay, and the hang your heart with these filler blocks. So we're going to take the pieced heart, filler block A, the no place block, block B, and then we will add the hang your heart block. We're going to sew these two units together with 1/4 inch, these two units get together with a 1/4 inch, and then attach this unit. Seams, I would personally press them open using a little bit of steam and a clapper, or you can press them to one side. It is your choice for seams. There's no specific instructions in the pattern from Kimberbell that tells you anything about directional or pressing seams open. Once the section 1 unit is together, we will repeat the steps sewing together section 2. Section 2 uses the pieced C block, your home block, the weather vane block, and the border block. You will need to sew your 2 piece C units together first in order to get them to be the appropriate length to fit the top of your home block. Now that our 2 sections are assembled, we're going to place them right sides together, and we're going to sew 1/4 inch to join the 2 sections together into one pillow front. our pillow front is assembled, the next step is going to be putting on the inner border and the flange. We're going to tackle the inner border just like we were if we were going to do a quilt. We are going to place grab the two shorter inner border pieces. Okay. And we're going to place them on the vertical sides of the pillow, just like you see in the diagram. We're going to press them, sew them with 1/4 inch, and then press the seam towards the inner border. Making sure that your word home either faces into the center or away from the center. You just want to make sure that when you go to attach this, that the word home is in the same orientation on all 4 sides of the pillow. Once we complete the 2 vertical borders, we will repeat with the top and bottom border. Now that our two side borders on, we've pressed the seams towards the border. We're now going to attach the top and bottom border in the same manner, making sure the orientation of the word home is going in the right direction. Once you have your inner border completely on all four sides, we are going to repeat these steps, adding the flange border. That was the larger 2.5-inch border in the blue fabric that we quilted last. So we're going to attach this in the same manner that we attached the inner border. We're going to do the two vertical sides with the shorter strips, and then we will do the two longer sides with the, we'll do the top and bottom with the two longer strips. If you have excess border that is sticking up from the edge of the pillow, once you get it sewn on and pressed, go ahead and just take your rotary cutter and a ruler and square it off flush and square with the top of the pillow. Like that. Now I'm ready to add the last flange border piece. We're going to be attaching it to the top and bottom of our pillow. The front of your pillow is assembled. It is time to make our backing. We have an envelope back to the pillow. You have in your kit 2 pieces of fabric that are 13.5 by 22.5. We need to take both back pieces and turn the 22.5-inch length on one side of each piece 1/4 of an inch twice and top stitch. So I want to show you the way that I do this. So standing at the iron and trying to fold 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch is hard. You'll probably burn a few fingertips. So here's my trick. Take the size of your hem, multiply it by 4. So that's 1 inch, right? So I'm going to measure 1 inch up from the edge that I'm going to hem. I'm going to draw a line, as you can see. I'm going to then fold the raw edge to the line. Okay? I don't even need a ruler at the ironing board. I'm going to fold raw edge to the line and iron. That's going to give me a 1/2 inch. Then I need to fold, I can unfold that. I'm going to fold this edge into the crease and then fold this back up. So you can kind of just tuck it in so that your raw edge gets tucked down against the original fold and give that an iron. That is your 1/4 inch fold twice. And I didn't have to even pull out the ruler at the iron except to mark 1 inch. We're going to give this a good press. Then you're going to take it to the sewing machine and we are going to top stitch it down so that it holds your finished edge for your envelope back. Once you have your pieces hemmed, we're going to take and lay our pillow right side up with the top of the pillow up at the top of the table. We're going to take one of our hemmed pieces. We're going to place it right sides together. We're going to come down at the bottom of the pillow. We're going to match the raw edges and center it from left to right. Okay, maybe a little bit bigger on the sides, which is just fine. Bigger is better than shorter. We're going to align that. Then we're going to take our other hemmed piece. We're going to place it right sides together at the top of the pillow, matching our top edge. Okay. We are going to have an overlap. Okay, that's where our pillow is going to go in at. We're going to give everything a good pin and prepare to sew this together with a 1/4 inch seam all the way around the pillow. Do not leave any opening because we'll turn right side out through the back of our project. Once we've sewn all the way around the perimeter of the pillow with your 1/4 inch seam, the next step is to clip our corners to help reduce the bulk. So when we clip corners, we want to clip diagonally across the corner, and then we're going to grade into the corner. And what that's going to do is that's going to help eliminate this excess trying to be pushed into the corner of the pillow as well. So we will grade all 4 corners of our pillow, and then we will turn the pillow right side out through the envelope in the backing, and we're going to give it a good press, and then we will stitch our flange. When poking out your corners, if you kind of put your finger in the corner and press from the opposite side, and then take the outside finger and put in the corner and flip it out, it's going to help you get a corner. The OESD point and press tool is really good for corners. It's got that balled end on it. It has a little round ball on it so that it doesn't poke a hole in your corner. So you just want to be careful poking too hard with too sharp of an object from the inside. All right. Once you have this turned right side out, we're going to go to the ironing board. You want to give it a nice press flat. Okay. Get your backing on the back and your pillow top on the front. And then we will come back and talk about how to sew the flange of this border. Now, to create the actual flange, because the inside center is the 18-inch pillow, and we need to stitch this flange piece here so that it creates kind of the flap of the pillow. So what I do is we're going to be stitching in the ditch, basically between the yellow and the blue border. I take pins, I work my way around, making sure, and just pinning in that area, making sure that my backing stays where I want, specifically right there where the 2 overlap. Now, I could not have tried to make that match any better than I did. What you get when you don't pay attention and you just do it. So at that seam where they overlap, I usually like to put a pin so that it doesn't fold over on me when I am stitching, because I'm going to be stitching from the front and I'm not really going to be able to see the back unless I take it out. Okay, so we're going to go to the machine here. I have put on my machine foot number 10. This is a edge stitch in the ditch foot as well. I'm using the 10D. You can use whatever foot that you would like, but I am gonna get my foot in here. I'm gonna put the blade of the presser foot right in the ditch. Okay, we're gonna do that right in the ditch. Let me move this camera. Move this camera so that I can get freehand system in where I want it. There we go, because I prefer to use my freehand system to pivot and adjust. My goal is to get the needle right into the seam. So by keeping that blade in the middle, I'm going to use a regular straight stitch. We're going to be able to stitch right in the ditch. This is not a fast process. You can also kind of give the seam a little bit of a spread if you would like. You also want to make sure that the color in your bobbin is a color that you're okay with seeing on the back of your pillow. So I would suggest something that blends or disappears. Stop and take a pin out as I approach the corner. Get to the corner. I'm gonna pivot. It's hard to see, but it is stitched in there. Your goal is to not be able to see that stitching. Depending on your seam and your seam thickness, you may find that keeping the blade in the ditch, you may need to move your needle position left or right in order to really get you in the ditch. We continue this process all the way around our pillow. The ultimate goal to successful stitching in the ditch is to pay attention more to the blade than to the needle. Watch where the blade is going. Wherever the blade is at is where the needle is at. It's kind of like driving and looking at the front end of the car. We want to look at the road ahead and not stare at the ornament on the hood or something that's, on the dashboard. So pay attention to the blade of the foot versus staring at the needle. Once you've gone all the way around, you can see that we've kind of stitched in that 2-inch border. We're going to get our pillow, we're going to open it up, and we're going to insert it into the back of our project. Once you have your pillow inserted, all nicely stuffed and fluffed inside your pillow, you will have a completed No Place Like Home pillow to place anywhere you like, on the couch, on a bench, in a chair. This pillow and the steps that we used for this pillow are similar to the construction of the Lucky You or Lucky Us pillow that they launched for St. Patrick's Day. The same format of pieced center, inner border, outer border, flange, and then an envelope back. So I hope that you enjoyed this process, that you learned anything. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out and contact me, and I will help you with it. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us, and hope that you had a great time.